Drake claims that the only reason that Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us got as big as it did is because Universal Music Group and Spotify conspired against him. And to cover up its tracks, Universal Music allegedly fired employees that were associated with or perceived to have loyalty to Drake. According to court documents, Drake tried to talk to Universal Music, quote, to resolve the ongoing harm that he has suffered, but they wouldn't engage in negotiations.
Look, the lawsuit thing, I thought that was to make sure that that didn't happen.
Wait, you talking about the Drake lawsuit?
Yeah.
To make sure what didn't happen?
That song didn't come on.
For Super Bowl?
See, look, sue Apple, right? Sue Universal.
Right.
And then have your attorneys contact NFL corporate and say, look, we don't want you guys to involve yourself in this nasty lawsuit that's going on.
The year is now 2025. And no matter what, Drizzy Drake is very much alive, and that's all thanks to you.
All right, y'all. So Drizzy Drake is big mad right now. And honestly, who wouldn't be in his place? Kendrick Lamar just used the biggest stage in the world, the Super Bowl halftime show, to put the final nail in the coffin. I mean, this man taunted Drake to his face, got the whole crowd to chant,
A minor,
and even got Drake's ex Serena Williams crip-walking on his demise.
they tell me Chubb the only one to get your hand-me-downs. Party at the party playing with his nose now. Waka got a weird case, why I see around. Certified lover boy, certified. Wop, 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 wop. I'm on him tough. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
What?
It's like Kendrick won, killed him, buried him, unburied him just to bury him again on the biggest stage of one of the most watched annual events. Now, it goes without saying that there's no way Drake can respond to all this humiliation with another diss track. He already tried that approach several times and it did not work. So what he's doing now is running straight to the courts and suing everyone in sight over Kendrick's diss track. So you already know Drake is suing his own label, Universal Music Group, for promoting and profiting off a song that Drake claims is defamatory. Now, a lot of people have been speculating that this lawsuit wasn't so much about Drake trying to clear his name as it was a last-ditch attempt to block Kendrick from performing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl. Well, clearly that didn't work, and now Drake is scrambling for a new plan. Drake's team actually released a statement just hours before Kendrick took the stage, and they again slammed UMG, this time accusing them of making a mockery of PDF file victims. Yes, Drake really went there, but that's not all. Sources close to Drizzy are now saying that he's considering adding Kendrick to his defamation lawsuit. But why is Drake still pushing this? Does he actually have a case here, or is he about to take another L, this time in court? Let's break it down.
I hear you like I'm young. You bet I never go to cell block 1.
Kendrick Lamar didn't just perform at the Super Bowl. He made it a full-on funeral for Drake's career. Kendrick's set was packed with heat, blending tracks from his latest album GNX with a few classics. Kendrick also used the moment to send a not-so-subtle message about the state of politics and social divide in the U.S., and he got Samuel L. Jackson to play the character of Uncle Sam.
It's your Uncle Sam, and this is the Great American Game.
All right, people, let's talk about it now. Wow, seeing Drake hurt would be so wonderful to talk about. There was a whole lot more that went way past Drake. Let's start off with Samuel Jackson being the commentator. Now, he says it's your old Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam meaning the government. He said, welcome to the Great American Game. The Great American Game in the United States we call football, but we were not talking about football. We were talking about the systematic oppression in the United States. He was saying too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. A lot of white people in the United States view our culture, black culture, as loud and ghetto. He says, Mr. Lamar, do you really know how to play a game? Meaning, play the game like we want you to play. Lamar performs, be humble. Meaning, sit down, be humble. That's how they want us to behave. They want us to sit down, be quiet, and be humble. He says you brought your homeboys with you, your old culture cheat code. Meaning that when we're around our people, it empowers us. He says, scorekeeper, deduct one life, meaning the consequences of our action here, we don't just lose, we lose our life. He also says that's what America wants, nice and calm, meaning that what makes us happy is when you guys just be quiet and act like us. Kendrick Lamar then goes into Not Like Us, says it's a cultural divide, meaning we got two different cultures here. We are not the same.
Now, there were a whole lot more hidden messages and themes in Kendrick's performance, and that probably deserves a video of its own. But now let's talk about the moment everyone was waiting for. Kendrick performing his Grammy Award-winning diss track, Not Like Us. After weeks of speculation and rumors that the NFL would ban Kendrick from performing the controversial track, Kendrick didn't just play it, he turned it into a full-blown spectacle. First, he baited the crowd, teasing the beat before stopping to clown Drake for the lawsuit against UMG.
I want to make a move. I want to perform their favorite song, but you know they love to sue. Yeah, that song. Maybe I think about it.
And then, with the entire world watching, Kendrick did his thing and led the whole stadium to sing along to lyrics about how Drake likes him young.
God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up the score. Walking down the whole time, I know he got some pull. And start bully the fro. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to sip.
Now, we all know Drake tried everything to stop that song from taking over, from subliminals to legal threats, but in the end, Kendrick made sure the entire Super Bowl audience, millions of viewers worldwide, and probably Drake himself, had to sit there and hear that crowd scream every word. So how is Drake handling yet another public humiliation? Well, he's out in Australia on tour, doing everything he can to act unbothered. But let's be real, we all know he's feeling this one. But Drake knows he can't drop any more diss tracks, so now he's shifting his focus to a different target, his own label, UMG. Since Drake couldn't stop Not Like Us from taking over and getting played at the Super Bowl, it looks like he's trying to flip the script and make the label the villain in this whole mess. But here's the thing, this time, it's not just about defamation. Drake is now calling UMG out for being hypocrites, saying they backed Kendrick's diss track, accusing him of being a predator, while allegedly protecting predators behind the scenes and mocking victims in the real world. And just to make sure the world got the message, Drake's legal team dropped a whole statement putting UMG on blast just hours before Kendrick's halftime show. The statement read, UMG is masquerading as a champion of artistic freedom by calling its actions merely entertainment, but there is nothing entertaining about PDF files or CA in the real world. We are confident that the evidence we will ultimately present at trial, including information we've already learned and continue to receive since filing the lawsuit, will expose UMG's gross prioritization of its own corporate profits and executive bonuses over its exclusively signed artists' well-being and the truth. Now, as for UMG, they're keeping quiet on this latest statement for now, but they already clapped back at Drake last month when he hit them with that defamation lawsuit. And they didn't just deny his claims, they straight up mocked Drake, basically implying that he's crying about them pushing Kendrick's diss track while conveniently ignoring the fact that they did the same for him. UMG's legal team said in a statement, throughout his career, Drake has intentionally and successfully used UMG to distribute his music and poetry to engage in conventionally outrageous back and forth rap battles to express his feelings about other artists. He now seeks to weaponize the legal process to silence an artist's creative expression and to seek damages from UMG for distributing that artist's music. And then UMG also made sure to remind Drake exactly who put him in the position he's in today, letting him know that without their backing, he wouldn't have reached the level of success he now enjoys. It was basically a subtle warning not to bite the hand that feeds him. After all, UMG gave Drake the biggest record deal in history, let him run his own label under their umbrella, and pushed his music harder than almost any other artist. But now that he's trying to come for them, they're making it clear that they can just as easily take it all away. UMG wrote in their statement, not only are these claims untrue, but the notion that we would seek to harm the reputation of any artist, let alone Drake, is illogical. We have invested massively in his music, and our employees around the world have worked tirelessly for many years to help him achieve historic, commercial, and personal financial success. Now, you would think that at this point, Drake would just take the L and move on, take some time to recover, and then come back with a new project unrelated to this beef. But it looks like despite all the humiliation, Aubrey is still not backing down. In fact, insiders are now saying Drake is actually considering taking things even further and adding both Kendrick and the NFL to his defamation lawsuit over Not Like Us being played at the Super Bowl. Sources close to the situation are saying that Drake's team is now exploring whether the NFL can be held liable for giving Kendrick the platform platform to perform a song that he claims is built on false allegations. And apparently, Drake also wants to personally sue Kendrick for falsely accusing him and his team of being PDF files. Now, on the one hand, it's understandable that Drake is feeling some type of way. I mean, thanks to Kendrick, even people who don't listen to hip-hop will now associate Drake's name with those wild allegations. On the other hand, Drake's got no one but himself to blame for the way this beef escalated. There were so many other ways he could have responded to Kendrick instead of running to the courts. For example, Drake could have exploited the hypocrisy of Kendrick accusing him of being a PDF file and yet shouting out woman hater Dr. Dre and working with Kodak Black, who was charged with rape back in 2019. Although on second thought, Drake probably knew doubling down on this angle wouldn't work because he himself associates with questionable people. I mean, one of his closest associates, Baka Not Nice, was arrested and charged with forcing a young woman into X work. So yeah, it's not like Drake has got any moral ground to stand on. At the end of the day, the better rapper won. And Drake's biggest mistake was expecting UMG to help him beat Kendrick. It seems he went into the fight thinking it would be fixed for him. I guess he learned nothing from that Pusha T situation. But now I want to hear from you. If Drake really moves forward with this lawsuit and adds Kendrick and the NFL, do you think he'd be signing up for an even bigger war? What do you think Drake should do next to bounce back from all this? Leave your comments below and don't miss this next video.